Hi everyone, so in this video we're going to discuss a little bit about the Nintendo Switch. This is not going to be an unboxing video because the Switch initially released in 2017 and from there the updated versions like the versions 2, the OLED model all has a ton of unboxing videos. So I'm not going to bore you with those details, but instead we're going to focus on my experience with the Nintendo Switch, and this video might be helpful to those people residing in India who love a Nintendo console, because some of you all might know that Nintendo services does not they do not have a presence in India. So it might be a little bit frustrating for us Nintendo lovers. So this video might be helpful for those people that who are residing in India and who love to own a Nintendo console. Also, I'm going to share with you a few of the accessories that I bought along with the Nintendo console. Let's get into the video. So firstly, let's talk about the accessories that I have with the Nintendo Switch. These are a kind of must-haves, or at least for me, these are must-haves. You can choose whatever brand you want depending upon your liking. And I chose the brand called Spigen because there are a ton of reviews out there and I did not want to take any risk. But on the downside, the price is a little bit high. So consider that while you purchase it. So first thing is you need a carrying case, because most of us are going to use the Switch as a portable console. We'll be taking it with us anywhere we go. So we need to make sure that the Switch is well protected. For that, this is a must have and you need a carrying case. And this one is actually optional because this is a tempered glass. So you might be using a tempered glass on your phone in order to prevent scratches. Since the OLED display might be attracted to scratches, it's better to have a tempered glass. Again, this is another choice. This is an option choice. Some people might not like having a tempered glass. So depending upon your choice, you can choose whether to opt for one or not. So anyways, for me, I chose this one. This is a pack of 2. Also, there's a assist in which we can use to fit in the tempered glass properly. There are a ton of videos out there regarding the installations of these as well, so you can check that out as well. This comes with a pack of 2, so in case if something happened to the first one, you can always rely on the second one as well. Anyways, just have a check regarding its price, its affordability, and based on that, make a decision. So this is the case which I use for my Nintendo console, and as you can see here, it's very spacious. You can use it to store your charger, your headset, and even your physical game cartridges. It supports up to 10 cartridges, and you can see that your Nintendo console will be well protected inside a case like this, so it's always better to go for one. So this is it, the Nintendo Switch console. So I took it out of my case and I placed it in tabletop mode. There are actually 3 modes which you can use to play. One is the handheld mode, which is a normal mode in which you play keeping it in your hands. The second one is called a tabletop mode, in which there is a kickstand and the back, which you can use it and you can detach these 2 Joy-Cons. These 2 are called Joy-Cons. You can detach them and play it like a mini screen on your table. The third one is called dock mode, in which you can use to play it on your TV, which I'll show you a little bit later. So firstly, let's boot up the screen and let's see how it looks. So there is an on button at the top over here. Just press on that and the screen will now boot. So this is the home screen. So we have to press the start button, which is... So as you can see, I have a few games on my Nintendo Switch and most of these games are downloaded directly from the eShop, and only one game like Pokemon Arceus is a physical cartridge copy. There's a place here to insert the cartridge and you can use it to play the game over here. I've already inserted it into my Switch, and the rest of the games are all downloaded directly from the eShop. So this is one thing to consider, especially if you are a user in India. Nintendo does not support India. So in case once you log in, if you give your region as India, you will not be able to access the eShop. So luckily, the Nintendo is not region locked like PlayStation. So what you can do is, once you initially set up your Nintendo account, you can give your region as US or UK or any other region accordingly that has a Nintendo presence, such that you will be able to access the eShop. So I'll show you how to get into the eShop. So these are Joy-Cons, okay? This can be used to select the options and all over here. So basically I have Pokemon Arceus, which is a physical copy. Crunchyroll is for anime viewing. You can view anime in this app. And Dauntless is an online game. Fall Guys, I think most of you all might know. And these are, Rocket League is also one of my favorite games. And these are all free games. Like Dauntless, Fall Guys, Kirby, and Rocket League. These are all free games that are free to access on the eShop. So if you don't access that, it will be a big miss for you. So it's better to give your region as the ones that are supported by the Nintendo, such that you will be able to have an access to the Nintendo eShop. So this is the Nintendo eShop, and you click on A over here and it will take you to the Nintendo eShop. So here I think the payment options are like, some credit cards are accessible over here. Otherwise you can link your PayPal account. I think it's better to link your PayPal account in case if you're buying, going to buy games online. I usually go with free games for now. So in Nintendo eShops, games are grouped based on different categories, like the featured ones, the best sellers, the recent releases, the coming soons, but I always go for categorizing them based on their price ranges. One more thing, Nintendo OLED screen is also a touch screen. You can use the touch function over here and you can select the price range, and it will categorize games based on their prices. The top one is the most priced ones. These are the AAA games, and below there are several options which you can choose from. If you go to the downward part, this shows the free games over here. These are the free games. This is the section which I access the most, because you like, one thing is, buying Nintendo games is very expensive. So it's best to play around with a few of the free games first, and then in case if you're into it, then go buy some AAA games. So it has a huge library over here for free games as well. Rocket League is one of my favorite ones, and the Dauntless game is also very interesting to play from, and the Asphalt Legends also is a good game to play. So you have a choice over here to choose the free games, and so don't miss on that. Always select your region as one in US or UK depending upon your choice. And the next thing we'll try is we'll set this up in dock mode, and I'll show you how this looks on the screen in my TV. So this is my gaming space. I do have a PlayStation 5 and a PlayStation 4, and this is my Nintendo Switch dock. Once you dock your Nintendo Switch over here, it will get displayed on the TV over here. So let's try it out. So we have now docked the Nintendo Switch. We have placed it over here, and the output is now displaying on the TV. So if we'll try to play one of the games, maybe we'll try to play one of the Pokemon games. So this is it, guys, the Pokemon Legends Arceus game. It's one of the coolest games which got me hooked to Nintendo Switch. So it is pretty difficult for me to move around while shooting this video, since I'm using my phone to shoot this video. So I'll try to show you a brief idea. So here we can, these are the Pokemons that I have. So this is Eevee. We have Scyther over here. See how cool this is? So well, these are my Pokemons. And look how we can interact with them. Like, if you guys have played the original
versions like the Fire Red, the Leaf Green versions of Pokemon, the Diamond Pearl versions, you can relate to me. So in this, one of the coolest part is if Pokemon notices you around, they might attack you. So that is one of the things to look forward to. And you can find Pokemon here in the wild, which is a lot cooler. So let's look for some Pokemon who are aggressive. See Psyduck over here? Let's see if he attacks us. No, it's not attacking, so we'll go for look. We'll look for some aggressive Pokemons who attacks us. So it's very difficult for me to use the, I think this one will attack. See, if they notices us in the wild, these might become aggressive and they might attack us. So we have the option of fighting them. So right now, let's choose a Pokemon battle. I'll go for Swift. See how cool that is? We used to play games like Pokemon Leaf Green, Fire Red versions using emulators in our school days. So those games itself were very amazing, and I always had thought of this, like if we are able to see Pokemon in the wild like we see in Pokemon Legends Arceus, it would have been so cool back then. So finally, when we got an opportunity to experience such a game, I could not resist it. So this is one of the reasons why I bought the Nintendo Switch, because Pokemon games are primarily released only on the Switch, so you don't have an opportunity to play with them. Otherwise, there might be some emulators out there, but it's better to opt for this mode of play because it would be more better. The gaming experience will be much better. And now let's talk about the hard part, what most of us have to consider before buying a Switch. Like most of you all might know this because you might have done a ton of research before choosing whether to buy a Switch or not. And one of the primary concerns that is out there is that, especially if you are a user in India, you don't have a service support, or if something happens to your Switch, you do not have an opportunity to get it fixed by Nintendo official customer service. So that is one of the primary concerns. So once we buy a Switch, we might be on our own, because PlayStation, Xbox all have warranties over here, but Nintendo does not have a warranty. That's something which has to be understood by any of us who are willing to buy a Switch. Second of all, like for example, I told you, right, I own a PlayStation, and in PlayStation, I am actually a huge PlayStation fan. I'm not much into Xbox, but in PlayStation, the games are much more cheaper. They have high graphics, and the games usually come on sale days as much cheaper than they initially were. So you have an opportunity of buying them when the cost is much less. But for Nintendo, the games are very expensive. Even third-party games might cost a huge chunk of your money. So that is one of the reasons to consider while buying a Nintendo Switch. Now let's talk about the hardware. I assume that almost everybody knows this because Nintendo has not had an upgraded hardware since a long time. They have updated the screen to OLED. They have improved their memory to 64 GB, which is not that great yet, but still they haven't upgraded their hardware. There are rumors that a pro version of the Switch is coming in 2023. But even so, if you're a user in India, even if an updated hardware comes with a Switch Pro, the cost is going to be that much higher. Right now, the Nintendo consoles are affordable. Only part is the games are expensive. If you want an example, the game Pokemon Legends Arceus cost me around 4,400 or something like that Indian rupees. And if you ask me whether a game like Pokemon costs that much, I'll say no. Because even though the game is amazing and the graphics is good, I don't believe a game should cost that much. Because games like Red Dead Redemption, Ghost of Tsushima, etc. in PlayStation cost much cheaper, because their graphics is much higher than that of a Nintendo. But unfortunately, since these games are only available in the Nintendo Switch, we have no other option. If we like those games, we have to purchase them. So that's another downfall of the Nintendo Switch. So one more thing is, if you are choosing to buy Nintendo Switch as a primary console, I will advise not to, because in case if you buy it as a primary console, you'll have to spend a lot of money on games. Of course, I understand that the game library is amazing and there are a lot of amazing games like Mario Kart. AAA games are amazing for Nintendo Switch. But choosing it as a primary console means you will be spending that much money on a lot of games, which I don't entertain at the moment. So if you're using it as a temporary console, as a second console, as a portable console, then it's fine, because you already have a primary console and you will not be spending a huge amount of money on a lot of games. Because like for me, if you consider me, I'll be playing Pokemon Arceus for some time again. So once I finish that, only I'll think about the next game. So in case if you're going for it as a primary console, you'll try to accumulate more games along with the current library that you have. That will cost a huge chunk of your money. So you can find, for example, in the last sale in PlayStation, I got NFS games, I remember it's as Heat or something like that. I got those games at 200 or something in the PlayStation Store, which, if you imagine, that's way cheaper. And getting a game like NFS at 200 or 300 is a golden ticket. So I always suggest, if you're going to buy a Switch, choose it as a secondary console. And for example, like PlayStation 4 is available at a much cheaper price, and the games are much more affordable. So if you only have a plan of buying one primary console, go for PlayStation or Xbox. But if you like the portability, and if you do have money to spend on games, and then if you want to use Nintendo Switch as your primary console, then go ahead. Otherwise, keep it as a secondary console, but I'll definitely say that this one is worth it. But make sure that you have a basis on how much you spend for these games, because spending a huge chunk of money, it's also not a good idea. Maybe occasionally you can buy one or two games and then play to have a full immersive experience on those games. But I'll never suggest that you choose Nintendo as your primary console. I know this might hurt a few Nintendo fans, but that's the truth, especially for those of us living in India. In case you guys have any doubts or something, I was not able to explain the entire thing in this video, because this is going to be a little bit outdated video, because a lot of videos are out there, but I did want to share a few of my experience out with the rest of you, those who are interested. So in case if you guys have any doubts, like if you're a beginner and if you have any doubts regarding these, how to set the console up or how to change the settings and all, do comment and I'll try to explain as far as I know. But I pretty much know that this is going to be an outdated video. So thanks for watching all, and let me know in case of any questions.